You are not imagining it. That confusion you feel after certain conversations is not always oversensitivity. Sometimes it is information. Because manipulation does not always look cruel, sometimes it sounds like concern. Sometimes it sounds like logic. Sometimes it even sounds like love. But after talking to them, you feel smaller. You feel guilty. You feel unsure of what actually happened. And slowly, you start asking the question they need you to ask. Maybe it is me. That is where psychological manipulation begins. Not when someone forces you directly, but when they make you doubt your own perception, your memory, your emotions, your boundaries, and eventually, your right to say, the goal is simple: to make their version of reality feel stronger than yours. A manipulative person does not need to win every argument. They only need to make you too confused to trust yourself. So you keep explaining. You keep apologizing. You keep trying to prove that you are not selfish, not dramatic, not the problem. And while you are busy defending yourself, you stop asking the real question. Why do I feel smaller every time I talk to this person? Here are 7 signs this may already be happening to you. Not the obvious kind, the quiet kind, the kind that makes you question yourself before you question them. They rewrite what happened. You remember the conversation. You remember the words. You remember the tone. But later, when you bring it up, they say, "That never happened. I never said that." You are remembering it wrong. And the most dangerous part is how calm they are. They say it with total confidence. So now, you start replaying everything. You ask yourself if you exaggerated, if you misunderstood, if your memory cannot be trusted. A healthy person may remember something differently. But a manipulative person always remembers things in a way that protects them and blames you. If their memory always makes them innocent, that is not forgetfulness. That is a pattern. They turn your boundary into an attack. You say, "I do not like being spoken to that way." They say, "So now I am the bad person?" You say, "I need space." They say, "So you are punishing me?" You say no. And suddenly, you are selfish, cold, difficult. This is how they make a normal boundary feel like a crime. They do not argue with the boundary. They attack what the boundary says about you. Because if they can make you feel cruel, you may shrink the boundary just to prove you are still kind. But a boundary is not an attack. It only feels like an attack to someone who benefited from you not having one. They make you apologize for being hurt. You try to tell them what they did. You start carefully. You choose soft words. You say, "That hurt me," and suddenly, the conversation turns. Now they are hurt. Now they are disappointed. Now you are making them feel like a terrible person, and before you even understand what happened, you are comforting them. You are apologizing for bringing it up. But notice what disappeared. Your pain, the original issue, the thing they actually did. You came to be understood, but you left responsible for their emotions. And if this happens often enough, you stop telling the truth, because the truth becomes too expensive. They use kindness as debt. At first, they help you. They support you. They show up when you need something, and maybe some of it is real. But later, that kindness becomes a contract you never agreed to sign. They remind you what they did, just enough to make you feel guilty. After everything I have done for you, I was there when nobody else was. I guess that meant nothing. Now, if you say no, you feel ungrateful. If you set a boundary, You feel cruel. Real kindness gives freely. Manipulative kindness keeps receipts. It helps you today, so it can own a piece of your decision tomorrow. They make normal reactions look irrational. You are hurt. They call you dramatic. You ask for clarity. They say you are paranoid. You notice a pattern. They say you are obsessed. You react to disrespect. They say you are too sensitive. After a while, you stop trusting your own reactions. You edit your emotions before you even speak. You ask yourself, am I allowed to feel this? Am I being too much? But being hurt by hurtful behavior is not irrational. Wanting clarity is not irrational. Needing respect is not irrational. The person who benefits from your confusion will often call your clarity an overreaction. They punish you with silence, not healthy silence, not space, not time to think. Punishing silence, the kind that makes the room heavy, the kind that makes you check your phone again, the kind that makes you wonder what you did wrong. They withdraw just enough warmth to make you chase it. They reply later. They become colder. They act distant, but they do not explain clearly, because clarity would end the game. Confusion keeps you moving. You send another message. You apologize first. You try to fix a problem they refuse to name. That is how silence becomes control. They say nothing, and your anxiety does the work for them. You leave confused, not just hurt. In a normal conflict, you may feel sad, angry, disappointed, but you still know what happened. With manipulation, you leave foggy. You cannot tell where the conversation changed. You cannot tell how you became the problem. You cannot tell why you are apologizing. When you were the one who was hurt, you replay everything. You search for the exact moment you lost control. But manipulation does not always hit like a punch. Sometimes it moves like smoke. It fills the room slowly. And by the time you notice it, you are already breathing it in. So if a conversation repeatedly makes you doubt your memory, your emotions, your boundaries, and your right to speak, that confusion is not random. It is the signal. Something is wrong here. Recognizing manipulation does not make you weak. It means a part of you is finally waking up. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are not difficult. You are responding to a pattern your body noticed before your mind could fully name it. And once you name it, the game changes. Because a manipulator has power when you keep explaining, when you keep proving, when you keep asking permission to trust yourself. But the moment you see the pattern clearly, you stop giving them unlimited access to your mind. You do not need revenge. Sometimes the strongest response is simple. I know what happened. And then you stop debating your reality with someone who benefits from distorting it. So tell me in the comments, which sign did you recognize the most? Just write the number. You do not have to explain. And remember this, the person who makes you doubt yourself loses power. The moment you believe your own eyes again,